This looks crazy right now. So I'm going to show you guys where I'm at for the week. Let's just talk about Feb, sorry. So since the 3rd of Feb, $1,200 payout, $3,700, $1,400, $4,000, $1,000, $4,500. Today is the 12th of Feb, $2,695 this morning, which is a pending payout. And then I've entered this trade this morning, which is $3,700 right now. Okay, so I'm on a 90% profit split with breakout on this account. I'm going to show you guys the entry model. It was a 1 hour imbalance. Okay, I saw that get swept. So when I see something like this, right, and it depends on the timing too. So I typically like seeing this happen before the daily open because it's sort of like the last flush before potentially a reversal, especially when we haven't broken this low. So let me explain the setup from scratch. We came up early hours of Sydney time, came into this level here. And just so you guys know, like if we look to the left on the 2 hour, we're coming off this zone here. So 50% of that is typically strong in my opinion for the way I trade. When that occurs and then I see a 1 hour structure shift, so we obviously had a trap, instant reclaim. So see how this structure here, we swept, closed above, trapped again, trapped shorts here with this bearish candle, closed back above. That was the long I made this morning for the other payout. So for this one here, that $2,600. I didn't go big on size. I wasn't too confident because we hadn't had the shift yet. But because we came up and we did fail to break this high, but we broke the body of this candle, which is more important because if we have a look, we broke above the 30-minute high. Okay, so what I was waiting for was some entry model around here. I thought it may come lower down to this level, okay, but we obviously didn't. So we came below the internal low here into imbalance, and then I've obviously entered on a 5-minute time frame. Okay, so as soon as I started seeing this reverse on the smaller time frames, hit my entry on the retest down. Okay, so I didn't enter on this candle, came up, retest down. I'm like, yep, I'll bid it, really tight stop loss. And this is obviously where the trade's at right now. Now, the good thing is, if you look at the 8 hour time frame, looks like we could come up and just fill this wick again. On the 4 hour time frame, hoping this isn't just a rejection and shoots back down. But either way, guys, my stop losses are both in profit. So this is a completely risk-free trade on my end right now. Yeah, let's see how this plays out. I'm hoping this hourly candle stays strong. If we start closing somewhere down here, not a good sign, because that would mean that the 15-minute has reversed all the way back while sweeping this little cluster here. See that little cluster high? See how that's swept? I sort of want to see the 15-minute close above that. We've only got 4 minutes on it. I don't know, but I'm not gonna fiddle with the trade too much, just because we've only had 40 minutes on this daily candle. So I want to let the market actually do its thing. Other than that, guys, that was pretty much the setup in all. Let me just delete all this rubbish. I would love to see a body candle sweep this high. So like, if you think about where the market is right now, on this overall bearish move, I understand we haven't broken any structure, right? So we're still typically bearish right now, and we're probably going to be targeting these lows or going much, much lower than these, right? The weekly time frame does not look good, so I'll show you that soon. But basically, the whole premise of this internal long that I'm taking right now is based on the fact that let's just go to an 8 hour time frame. If we pull a fib from major low to swing high, we're around the 50% retracement. This is typically where you're going to start getting into your discounted areas, okay? And it's not only the discount, it's also this little cluster of price here. So this was basically the chop before we did make that push. We swept this cluster of price, but because it's not a major swing high, I don't take too much weight with that. In my opinion, we're still building, like this is all just buy side liquidity here. So if this is the low and we make a move for that, it could be a massive trade. I'm going to show you guys pretty much how I manage it. I don't have to manage the risk anymore because we're already pretty much at complete break even plus fees. But hopefully, guys, we can see a 1 hour time frame pop up. The most important thing to monitor right now is this 15-minute time frame. I'd always tell people, like, the way that I like to trade is have like certain goalposts. So when I'm managing a position, this is the initial goalpost here. I know it doesn't look like much, but because the market's so bearish, you have to take consideration of all these micro cluster areas, right? Especially when, if this was a break of structure that the market will respect, we're heading into the 61.8 retracement. So this is a key level for me right now. We'll mark that out and actually keep it there. 61.8, if we close above that, it's clean. If we start rolling over now, probably look at closing the trade and looking for a re-entry. But I think we've got some strength on the upside here. Back. Just went to have a coffee and stuff. This thing looks like pretty good. 4,500 now. I'm in two minds whether to move to like stop loss here under this candle. Because to be real, like if this does start flipping back, we're probably going lower. I might actually do that. So 67,400. Let me have a look at the 15 though. It could sweep that and go. That's the problem. That's where you have to be careful with moving stops to profit. It could do something like that because it's already taken out this. I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it at break even. I'm confident this comes higher. Like if you look at any of the higher time frames, that looks great. Came down to this level, reclaimed, pushed back in a little bit of imbalance, pushing back higher. There's not really much more I can ask for. Honestly, there's a major level here that it could test. 70K would be fucking wonderful. That'd be a pretty big profit too. But let's have a look what that would be. 9K. It'd be about total profit 9 plus 6. You're looking at about 15,000 plus 90% payout. Looking at about $13,500 payout if we go to 70K, of course. Should see something quick. All right, we're at 5K profit, guys. Here we go, here we go. That's what I mean. That's the sort of velocity we want. A little bit higher. Should see 68 taken out with confidence. That's what I meant. A little bit of sell-off, it's fine. As long as we don't come back under this high, I'm confident. If we start sweeping that, I'd rather just take the payout, especially in these conditions. 68K should be taken out here. Let's just mark 68. Let's just say it's there. Here we go. There we go. 5,700. This is strong. This is a super, super good trade, to be honest. Because the way I see it is if we get a push above that, like let's say we close up above here on the hourly, I can take profit and potentially get back in down at this demand level, right? So I'll return to the base. If it doesn't close above, it's hard to take profit because it could still go higher. So it's one of those ones, like these certain goalposts need to be hit for the trade to still remain effective. Because I like using the same exit as I would enter something. Now, remember we spoke about before, it's at the 70% fib, 60% fib. It's sort of like a good short entry if you're looking at this internal heavily. The hourly is going to close below. Honestly, it's got 9 minutes to do something to convince me to stay in. If it's not, I'll take 3K, whatever it's going to be. Who cares? This is all part of trading, right? You're going to give back some unrealized profit when you're trying to take more out of the market. Like you're supposed to manage trades to extend your take profit or get evidence to extend your runners and cut your losers short. The good thing is I'm leaving this trade with profit either way, and we've still got time to recover that high. So like this could honestly pump back to 68. There is nothing stopping that. Here we go. We go. still needs to push higher. I'm going to put stops under here. 67538. Six, 7, 5, 3, 8. All right, we're stop. This is our stop out, guys. 6, 7, 5, 3, 8. This line here. We are risk free in profit. We're just going to see what happens because we're out. 3K profit, whatever. That's it, guys.